those impacted by the hurricane, it's rough in these streets.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're bringing a little joy to you. If there's ways that that we could help spread the word of support and things like that, let us know. And but yeah, stay as safe as you can, because man, Mother Nature mad,
Yeah.
Mother Nature big mad. So stay safe out there, and yeah, we just know the hurricane is impacting a lot of the community. So
thinking of y'all.
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Colonoscopy.
CultureCon 2024.
And Jaguar ain't right. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Kerel.
It's Auntie Duan.
And it's Auntie Jerrell. Hey, y'all.
And y'all, we going through it. It's just going to be a crunchy episode. The mics ain't working. The lighting is crazy. It is what it is, community. So sorry ahead of time. Hopefully you still enjoy it. And it's also going to be an abbreviated episode because we got work to do.
But we look good.
That's right. We all look glad.
You know who I blame? Justin Timberlake.
Ooh, that. Very
Deserved.
that. Don't get me started on that again.
Deserved.
Don't get me started, because there was going to be a part 2.
Because that's the reason why. That's the reason why we it looks like this and it sounds like this, because there was a concert.
Because Justin Timberlake decided to cancel the concert.
And had he just canceled the day before, we would have been all right.
We would have been all right.
Yep.
Would have been all right. Damn, JT. Messing up black people again.
he said if Anita Baker can do it, so can I.
I guess so. And that's what it felt like. Literally, no one had a clue. No one had a clue. And it was so funny. Like, walking to the stadium, I was like, it seems a little quiet. Like, where's everybody parking at? Like, that's literally walking. I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe everyone took the train in too. I don't know.
Yeah.
And walking to the building, I'm like, it kind of looked dark in there.
Not a dark room for Justin Timberlake concert.
And so, like, we're walking up, other folks are walking up, and there's this one guy just standing outside the front door. Because now I was even thinking, I was like, okay, maybe it's around the corner, because this door, clearly there's not a lot of people at this door.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nope, the show's canceled. And then sure enough, like 20 seconds later, it came over the PA system around the building saying, the Justin Timberlake show is canceled for tonight. Check your emails.
Get
and
back
so
in your
no one
car,
had got
turn
emails
around.
yet. Nothing. And so that's when I started doing the recording thing, because I'm like, we ain't got no email saying it's canceled. And then sure enough, when we were finally trying to get a new train, so Justin, you cost me some coin, by the way. Thank you very much, to get back to Philly, because I felt stranded. I don't like that feeling. I don't like not being in control of my situation and trying to figure this shit out. But yeah, still they're saying still hold on to your ticket. And then here's the truth to you. I still want to see him. I don't want to go back to Newark. And he's in Philly like Friday, tomorrow. But we don't even know if that show's going to keep on going, to buy tickets for that and then hopefully maybe get our refund or sell our Newark tickets. So it's just like, it's stupid. And like tomorrow's our wedding anniversary, so we already had kind of like plans for that, to go to dinner. So I'm like, okay, maybe we just do Justin Timberlake instead. It's all up in the air. So yeah, I blame JT too.
That's crazy that people got to the concert, to the venue, before knowing that it was canceled.
And finally, like, so I went on social, and then he finally put like a thing up on his story and on his page. But like, I was going through, you know me, I'm all nosy. I'm like, let me see what the dancers and everybody doing. I don't even think they really knew, because some of the dancers looked like they were in like the back, like warming up and shit like that. Like, it was that late of a postponement.
He probably had to go to court. That's probably what it was. He had to go to court the next morning.
He was driving, doing that Dewey's again, DUIs. Baby.
Damn.
But, we'll see what happens. But yeah,
look, low key, I'm sure you probably been like, he better not be in Philly. I know that much. Talk about a miracle. I thought you were sick.
You all injured?
Oh, you feel good now? Oh, okay.
And he was just in Brooklyn the night before, and he posting all this stuff with him and Jimmy Fallon. I was like, oh, you moving then? Don't look injured there, boo. Anyway, I digress. How y'all two doing?
It's a day.
Yeah.
It's a day.
Yeah.
I still got on yesterday's clothes. Don't judge me. I'm glad videos don't have like that, the ability to like smell through
Smell-o-vision.
Because let me tell you, girl,
She's
it's
ripe
been a
like
day.
a peach.
It's been a day. I smell like a man.
I get it.
A man.
I feel like a man, boy.
A man.
I get it. I went to the gym this morning, still ain't took a shower yet, so I'm right there with you.
But to be fair, y'all, I just want the learners to know, okay, I am back home in Minneapolis. I got in at like 1:45 in the morning.
Oof.
And then I slept, got up, and then for the last 45 minutes been trying to figure out how to connect to the internet for this. So I ain't had time, okay? But like we say, I will make sure to wash my legs, wash my hands, and wash my ass today. Don't worry.
Just might be a little later in the day.
It might be after the recording, okay?
I was
some tea after dark.
I had taken yesterday off because I was supposed to have a colonoscopy, right? Never had one before. And, you know, it's highly recommended. Like, gentlemen, especially when you get a certain age, don't skip on preventative health measures. Do not.
I agree.
And
did you start drinking the juice?
Okay, so
look, we just jumped on you, girl.
So did.
That shit is still sitting in the refrigerator because I didn't end up having it yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I forgot. Okay. So there are certain medications that you're not supposed to take beforehand. You have to wait like 7 days. I forgot. And so I took it, and I didn't want to lie when they confirmed with me the day before I started. I was supposed to start taking it, you know, the gin and the juice to make the, you know, the thing start moving and whatnot, which I didn't realize is a lot. It's like a gallon.
It's a jug.
It's a gallon.
Yes.
Basically, you have to take a whole.
What is this liquid?
It's two things. You basically get a whole thing of Miralax, 248 milligrams, which is a laxative in powder form. And then you get 64? Is it 264 or 36? 236 milligrams, basically of Gatorade. So two of those, but the big ones together, which is basically like a gallon. And then you mix them together, and then you drink that basically one glass every 10 to 15 minutes, starting at like the middle of the afternoon until basically, you know, like 11 p.m. or something like that.
I don't know if I ever share anything. I got colonoscopy a few years ago.
Y'all didn't.
Oh,
so that's how you know about the juice. That's how you know about the juice.
Right. We talked about it offline, but yeah.
Okay. So community, do your preventative care.
Because essentially, if you don't do so two things. One was the medication I was supposed to take that I wasn't supposed to take, and I forgot, and I took it. And then when they called me the day before, the morning before, to make sure that I had all the information I needed about, you know, drop off, pick up, and and they were telling me they were moving the appointment time up from 11 o'clock in the morning to 7 a.m. in the morning, which got me all fucked up. And then they confirmed, hey, you know, have you taken any medications? I was like, oh, snap. I took some medication within the window. So she goes, well, we're going to have to reschedule it. I said, for when? She goes, you're going to have to call. They have a whole scheduling service. So like, long story short, I didn't have to take the stuff. It's still sitting in my refrigerator. I don't, and I haven't even heard back from them yet. I've been trying to like reschedule it or whatever. So I had the whole day off, and I said, you know, to myself, I've been working so hard. I'm just going to give myself the day off. I mean, I had a weekend, but you know, we went to CultureCon, which by the way, shout out to CultureCon. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but like went to Culture. So it wasn't like a truly relaxing weekend. I'm just like decompressing and not doing shit. So that's what I did yesterday. I just did nothing yesterday.
So some follow-up questions.
Real quick, got back to work today, 192 emails and 3 fire drills. And I'm like, God damn, I can't take a goddamn day off without some shit blowing up at the company.
Look, you still have some shit one way or another.
That
part. So did.
Okay, so you mentioned like, you know, getting a colonoscopy for men at a certain age. But Kerel, you just mentioned that you got one a few years ago, which means you were in your 30s when you got one.
Yeah.
So like, what is like the recommended age of getting a colonoscopy? Because I was under the impression like it was like in like 40 is when you should start getting one.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. The recommended age, the recommended and almost required age where it's really, really like imminent that you need to get one is 50. Mm-hmm. It's 50 for men. Mm-hmm. But they start looking at colon health well into your 40s. So basically what you have an option, because you can do the colonoscopy and you won't have to do the colonoscopy for 5 years. If you choose not to do that, then every year you got to shit in a box and send it out. They take a stool sample to check your gut health essentially, but that doesn't give you indication of if there's anything going on within your intestinal tract or within your colon that might need some kind of attention. So the colonoscopy is actually looking in it, whereas the poop in a box basically is checking gut health based on how you're digesting things.
Like I think they actually recently just lowered and they actually just recently lowered the age to 45 now because they've noticed trends, and obviously they don't know if it's plastics, they don't know, but over time they're just seeing the increase of colon cancers increase, so they just recently moved it to 45. The reason why I did it right before I moved to Philly is for a while there I was having like these stomach pains, and I was like, okay, this is weird. It was like the lower left side, and honestly they haven't been back since, but it's weird. So they're like, all right. So I had talked to like my primary care doctor for like a year. I'm like, yeah, it's just like these weird minor pains that kind of come and go. And so they're like, okay, pay attention to your food, blah, 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 blah. So I was trying to pay attention to food, and I was like, it's not like a rhyme or reason. So long story short, they're like, all right, let's do a colonoscopy just to play it safe, just to make sure there's nothing going on inside your bowels, And so thank God nothing was crazy. They did find one polyp though, and they don't think that's what's causing the issue. But one thing, like once you get the colonoscopy, if they find anything, now I got to go every 5 years the rest of my life, because they're like, okay, we did find one polyp. They snip, it. And it's the easiest, cleanest way to not have growths in your bowels. So I agree with the one. Be on top of your preventive. I would, like, if I didn't have these pains,
you would never know.
I would never wait. I would have waited till 45, 50 years old. And I was 37 at the time, because it was right before I turned 38. Would never know. And who would have known if that polyp would have spread, if it would have grown, all that stuff.
Broken off, so an infection, and you've got internal bleeding, and then you get sepsis, and
it could be a whole host of things, or it could have just stayed small the way it was. You just don't know. So luckily, I went and they snipped it out, and everything else looked clean in there. They're like, "Yes, you're a young man." Yes, and I didn't look ran through either.
So they looked at it like, "Oh, the walls are still there. Right. The walls are still there."
Exactly. I was like, "Okay, then, thank you." But yeah. So I mean, like, if you have insurance, or even if you don't have insurance and you have a couple extra coin and you feeling pains, go to the doctor. Like, that's what it's for. Man. Yes, insurance is crazy. Yes, the bills can be crazy, but especially with colonoscopies. Like, if you have a doctor saying, no, you need to go get one, then the bill isn't as high as if you just try to say, I need to go schedule a colonoscopy. So like, I'm already 2.5 years in. So like in 2.5 years from now, I got to go schedule one and drink that damn juice. And that juice is nasty. It's disgusting. It's everything what they say it is. It's disgusting. That shit destroys your body. It brush you clean.
Basically,
baby, you be on that toilet.
I didn't. Okay, so low key, I kind of tasted a little bit of it, because I was like, okay, well, I don't have to go to get the colonoscopy, but I'm like, I could use a little colon cleanse. But let me not do the whole thing. So I literally took like one just 8.5 to 10 ounce glass, glass of it. Baby, I was whistling Dixie. The way I ran to the bathroom, like that stuff. It is not gentle.
Crazy. The thing is, like, at first you're like, oh, it's not that bad of a flavor, but to drink how much you need to drink of it,
a gallon.
Like, you're choking it down by the end. Like, it's insanity, and it's ruined lime flavored Gatorade for me, so I can't do that next. Or maybe I'll just do it because I just can't drink it since then because that's what I drink it.
Because they don't want you to have anything with
it.
any kind of color, so they recommend lemon lime because
it's very
even
minimal.
though it does have though it does have some dye in it, it's better than water, and it has a little bit of flavor. And you're not supposed to eat that day. You can have like something in the morning, like something like a banana or oatmeal, but that's basically it. So
and the worst part of it is like when everything's kind of already through you, and you still got to finish that drink. So it's just going in and coming right out.
And
we didn't know this was going to be another boo-boo episode, but sorry.
They can and if you don't do it properly, you're like, oh, I'm just going to skimp on it, whatever. When they get in there, they could actually stop the procedure and not continue, because the whole point of it is so that they can see everything they want to have it. Yeah.
But ooh, you had some Reese's Pieces the other day. But here's the thing too, like on a serious note, like I know a lot of people like, especially maybe more from the straight community, or if you're just a total dom top and you don't like things in your butthole, it is what it is. You don't feel anything. Yeah. You're not sore or anything like that. And literally they put you under. Literally, they do that countdown. They like count down from 10, and baby, I make it to 7. I'd be like 10, 9, maybe not even that, because literally it's like 10, 9, and then you kind of fight it for a split second, and then baby, you wake up.
Let me tell you, not gonna lie, my sleeping has been shit for like the last probably 2.5 months. So I was so looking forward to getting like an hour and a half of just good.
You said, "Give me that propofol."
Propofol. Look, not trying to make light of a person's situation, but however,
I was sleepy.
I was like, girl, ooh, I would love to be, because I toss and turn in my sleep, like jumping jacks in the middle of the night. So I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to getting this 1.5 hour nap. Y'all can do all the kind of stuff, and I can just be sleeping, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Then maybe go out and. Yeah,
man. Yeah. But yeah, no, well, I'm glad you're taking your care seriously. Hopefully you get that rescheduled soon, and do due diligence, and no community. Definitely stay up on your healthcare. We need you here. Absolutely. We need you living a long, as healthy as possible life. So
yes. We need you to be out there. We need you to be out there listening to our podcast and liking and subscribing and sharing with your friends.
Absolutely. That's a good. I like that. Thank you, Dewan. That was good. But we were at CultureCon, Dewan and I, and we missed you, Jerrell. We're like, damn.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine.
You're right.
I stopped. Y'all were doing just fine.
But you're right.
Look,
we managed. We made it through.
Jerrell posted in our group chat with Shayna. She was like, oh, I'm jealous. I see y'all out there doing all these things. I said, girl, don't even try it. Because then I screenshotted a picture of her in Italy literally a month before. Like, girl.
Exactly. It's like, you just saw Jerrell. It's like, you seen Jerrell more recently than we seen Jerrell. But yes, shout out to Shayna, shout out to Bylat, man. So many things. Okay, CultureCon. So for those that don't know what CultureCon is literally a huge creator festival, quite frankly, convention specific for Black folk and brown folk, but like really centered around Black culture. And then we always got to pull in our brown brothers and sisters and non-binaries. We're like, come on, we got you too, boo. And really just kind of is. Most of the maybe even all of them now I think about it, are like around 25, 30 minutes of just different panels about different topics, about like maybe for some folks that are new to the journey, some that are there for a while. How do you manage the money of it? AI, all these various topics, but the lens is from people of color and their perspective and their experiences. So it was over 2 days. There's a week of just different events. But the main event, it was Saturday and Sunday. And I mean, like, it's cool as our podcast grows to start, like, either recognized or just, like, the folks that we recognize that they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, that's still super weird to me. Because it's just like, damn, we just talking. Like, we just, hey, Dewan, hey, Jerrell. Like, the bigness of it is cool. But it's bizarre at the same time. And so just to see other folks that we've collaborated with, folks we've had on the podcast, and finally either meeting them in person, like a Kaylin. Hey, Kaylin. Trivia for Us was out there. Hey, Booze, who killed it on stage. Kevin from By That and Men was on the main stage this year, talking about the upcoming election and just the lens of that whole thing. Killed it up there. I mean, like, it was cool. It was cool. Morris Chestnut was up there, and he fine as hell still. That man was so good looking.
That man was fine.
Cynthia Erivo was dope. Like, it was just, it was dope. Yeah. It was dope.
And listen, the eye candy that was attending. First and foremost, not to get like so into like all the men's but you know, we will be talking about that in a minute. But just the representation was there. There was a point where we were in one of the exhibit halls where they have like a bunch of like little activities and, you know, bars and other kind of stuff, and coffee shops and activity rooms and shops and stuff. And, you know, I pulled Kerel to the side and I was just like, looking around, there is so much diversity and representation of our community. And for a lot of historically or traditionally Black focused events, you would see some of the queer community there, but the queer community and the queer adjacent and queer ally community that was there it was gay, straight, lesbian, non-binary, everything in between, above and beyond.
I love that.
And there was no friction. There was no weird vibes. There wasn't like, you know, pockets of, oh, this is where the straight people at. This is where the like the non-binary people be. It was, everybody was just so intermingled. The looks that people were wearing, the kinds of industry that was represented, the age groups of the people that were there, because this wasn't like just a 19 to 25-year-old kind of thing. It spanned the whole spectrum of our community, and it was just beautiful to be a part of that.
It really was. And it was well run.
Yeah,
like they were on time. Like there was like, okay, clap for this presenter, let's get you off, take a couple little pictures, because we gotta keep this shit moving. Like, baby, it was well run, for especially that amount of people there too.
This was like Afrotech, but in my opinion, it was better. It was like better because I feel like, you know, like it wasn't as big, and like Afrotech, for those that don't know, Afrotech is it's basically this kind of vibe, but it's more centered around technology and technology focused topics and things like that. But it is surrounded by tons of like, you know, like meet and greets and parties and DJ events and bingo nights and things that are centered around us and our culture and da-da-da-da-da. Same thing, but it's much more like, Afrotech is just, it's so big, I feel like it becomes difficult to like really be able to take it all in. Whereas this was, it was very manageable. It was, but you still had so much quality events and topics and options to choose from. So if you didn't like this topic, you can go to this particular space and hear these people talk. And the talks weren't an hour. They were 25 minutes, 30 minutes tops. So, you know, even if you weren't interested in the topic, you just sit there, you know, do your little like Instagram thing or whatever. And then, you know.
No, not the Instagram thing. I'm going to post it. After community, this particular part of this conversation, I'm going to show you what DeJuan was doing. I'll put it right now.
Instagram or
DeJuan was on that phone. Like, it is such an auntie moment. So we're just sitting there, and I forget what it was. Because it was a couple of them where you're like, okay, let's move on to the next topic. Or, you know, or maybe certain presenters weren't in their ministry bag. Right. Yeah. Like, because a lot of times they're trying to pull like big names to kind of do the interviews. And some of them, that's just not they
this was during La Roche. So
I say, I wasn't going to call out names, girl. Well, it is what it is. Well, it makes sense for what he was scrolling for too. Right. And actually, the La Roche one was pretty cool, because La Roche, when he's amongst us, be letting loose. It'd be funny. But so I'm looking, Shayna's to my right. We're talking about something, da-da-da. And I look over, DeJuan's legs across. He's scrolling. I look over. He's looking for a new wig on Amazon.
not just any wig. I wanted braids.
Oh my DeJuan, you are killing me right now. So I took a video recorded. So I'll put that up right now. That shit killed me. But I was like, well, that's on brand.
One thing a Leo's going to
but
do is
yeah,
multitask. That's for goddamn sure.
but yeah,
We
no,
gonna get
it
about
was
some
dope. We
things
saw
done.
Jay Monroe out there again. He was out there with his
Yes.
little fur hat on. I was like, bitch, you
Looking
know it's hot out here. You
good.
got that
With
fur
the
looking good,
high-waisted pants
Yes.
on, too. I was like,
Yes.
baby, you
baby.
better stop. You better
Baby.
stop.
Kevin was in there squozing his little mint green suit. I was like, you better squeeze into that suit, boo. Showing all
Yeah.
the curves. I know that's right.
Kevin had
Anthony,
posted
like,
this
it was just
photo.
dope.
Kevin had posted this photo, and it was like quite a few of everyone from like the photo shoot that we did,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
just like warmed my heart because I was like, damn, that's family. Like that's really his
Mhm.
family.
It
Like
literally is.
we all are just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like Damon from Surface Level. Like,
Mhm.
it's literally, it was cool to walk into a place like that of thousands of people and see familiar faces be like, I just genuinely enjoy y'all.
Yeah.
Genuinely enjoy y'all. You know? So
Mhm.
yeah,
And
so CultureCon was dope.
I would highly encourage, for y'all that's listening, if there are just mark your calendars, mark your notes app or whatever that you use to capture notes on things to do next year. Definitely if you are in the New York City area, the Brooklyn area specifically, plan to attend CultureCon if you can. It's definitely worthwhile. It's a great experience. The food was really good. It was just a beautiful day out. Like it's half of the events were outside and half of the other ones were in. It felt like we were at an HBCU. It was the
really
vibe was
did.
so cool.
Yeah, it was almost like an HBCU homecoming or something like that. Yeah. And then we had to double check if Ciroc was still owned by Diddy. Because we're like, where the drinks at? And then we're like, why the drink stand so empty? And we're like, damn, that's sponsored by Ciroc. Hold on. We showed that. We was like walking up to her like, hold on. Like,
it was 11 o'clock in the morning. I was like, there was a long ass line for people to get coffee. I was like,
coffee, yeah.
I'm like, where the drinks at? So I looked behind. I was like, oh, there's a bar back there. And so the three of us, Shayna was with us. We scroll on up to the bar. And I was like, oh damn, this is sponsored by Ciroc.
Yeah.
Isn't that some Diddy shit? Like, oh, I don't know. And there was literally no one in line. So I was just like, and then we confirmed that he has been completely divested from that particular venture or whatever. And even when we got into
we got us a drink.
We got us a drink.
We was like, okay, we can drink this now again. But all right. Anyway, community, it's gonna be a shorter episode because again, we recording at a different time we normally do. It's the middle of the day, so we gotta get back to work. So I think what we're gonna do is just turn some of these topics to it. Aunties, do you give a damn?
Yeah.
So aunties, do you give a damn about what the exhibit is gonna be next year for the Met Gala, titled Superfine, the tailoring black style, or Superfine tailoring black style?
Yes. I definitely give a damn. First and foremost, it's great that the Met Gala is being, at least going into this next year, is going to be led by Black individuals. So the fact that this is the idea that is the brainchild from that committee is great, because I would feel a certain kind of way, if it wasn't us talking about this. And the exhibit is the actual exhibit, not necessarily the concept of what they will be wearing.
Title.
This is the exhibit of what will be on display that people will have the opportunity to experience at the Met. Is really based off of the Black dandy, and the dandy is basically an individual that has is really into fashion and uses fashion as an external expression of their own creativity. Take that however you want to take that, but it's it's the flamboyance, it's the opulence, this is not being demure, this is being opulent, this is being on point, this is bringing your A game. And so I love that the impetus of this is based off of a book by one of the co producers of the exhibit, is based on the book that she actually wrote on the study of the Black dandy, the historical study of how Black people went from slavery to luxury, went from slavery to style. And so I think this is
Monica L. Miller's 2009 book, Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. No, when I first saw the headline pop through, I was like,
baby,
I don't know how I feel about this. Then I kind of did some reading. I was like, okay, this at least feels like the right folks are being included.
Check.
Because it's going to be Pharrell. I mean, Pharrell.
Pharrell.
Like, right when you think Pharrell can't do anything else, Pharrell out here just killing life. Like,
But he's always had incredible style too.
Yeah.
He's always had incredible style.
Period.
Yeah.
But if we
So it
go
makes
back
sense.
to the podcast that we had talked about when he was named as a creative director for Louis Vuitton, and remember he had that fashion show in Paris, and you know people were kind of dragging him because he was doing a little bit more kind of like a country vibe or whatever. And the thing that we talked about, and because I went back to listen to that episode, and I was just like, I love, you know, how optimistic we are about certain kinds of things when it comes to us, because it's not just about the seat that you occupy, it's about the doors that you open. And now we're starting to see
the fruits of that labor.
Yeah.
I agree. So it's Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell, then obviously LeBron James in there. He always find a way to get in there. And obviously Anna Wintour is always the co-chair. But and it's the exhibit, if you want to go, obviously it's in New York. And it runs from, and I just scrolled, May 6th, there we go, May 6th of 2025 through October 26th of 2025. So this is definitely one I want to go out there and definitely see. And Coleman, come on, my Minority Report, baby. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
And the way he was dressed all last year, too, for the Oscars, baby, let me tell you.
Period.
He met the Auntie Char bar, I'll tell you that. You can check the
I didn't say nothing bad about Coleman all year. We can't say the same about some folk, but at least Coleman made it through.
Yeah, we might have to plan to attend that. And
Tyler,
sorry, Tyler. Tyler got all the smoke.
The kitty litter.
Got all the smoke. But yeah, we should try to
we should do that.
How we stick up in this mug?
Yeah, we gotta figure out.
Get us some outfits and just be like, yes, we're on the list. Anna called me personally. Thank you.
I'm a hold somebody's train.
That hopefully Coleman's. Do we give a damn that Rafa Nadal announced his retirement?
I was just talking to my bestie Chew about that today. I do give a damn that he's retiring. It's crazy. Like the big three is now just one.
Right.
It's just one. And even he right now is kind of
them young guns. Like, damn.
Djokovic, he's the only one left. It's a changing of the guard. Yeah.
Really and I'm gonna also miss him picking out his underwear every time he go to serve too. Look, you know that look.
For people who don't know, you need to first of all, y'all need to be watching us on YouTube. That part. But Nadal is notorious. He has some tics, some tics. So every time that he's getting ready to serve, he does a couple of things that
he has a little ritual. He does.
Reggie, put the hair behind the ear, check his nose, and I think he be smelling his hand. That's what I always think every time he do that. Do the other ear, maybe picks it one more time, looks up, then because he always be sweating, and then go up there. Yeah, no, I was always Team Rafa, like even before like Federer. I didn't care to like Federer until the later years. And I never really cared for Djokovic because he get on my damn nerves. So I was always Team Rafa on the men's side. And so when I saw that today, that one made me almost choke up a little bit. I was like, damn.
Tennis is truly changing. And it's sad because it's also like a reminder for me that I'm not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? This was an era of tennis that will go down in the books forever, right?
1,000.
And the fact that we had Rafa, we had Federer, we had Novak, we had just Serena, Venus. You know,
even though Andy Murray in there at the beginning,
we had all these big names all at once. That wasn't just like one slam here, one slam. Well, that was more Murray. But at least making it to the finals, winning multiple Grand Slams.
Yeah,
you weren't talking about anybody else unless they beat one of those that I just named.
Their name was always in the conversation.
Always.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm excited about this new era. At least we see a Sinner and Alcaraz up there.
I do like the Sinner Alcaraz.
Iga's kind of struggling right now. Got that new coach. Sabalenka's finally kind of getting out of her own way and kind of winning. Naomi's trying to come around. She got
She
Serena's
got
old coach
Patrick.
now.
She got Patrick. Hey, Daddy Patrick.
Dad, them cakes, baby. Coco just won again, so hopefully, with her new coach, she's kind of come around and maybe a good start for 2025. So at least the new era is going to be good. But damn, what a time to be alive during this one.
But you know what's crazy about this new era is that, like, they I'm trying to say this the correct way. Ooh. Like, the era that we grew up with came out guns blazing, and they weren't switching coaches because they needed to work on small little technique stuff like this, right? This new era of players have been switching coaches because they needed to continue to still grow. They were already where they were. So
I agree. I agree. It's a different time. It'll be I guess Alcaraz is maybe consistent.
It'll be really interesting to see if, like, with this new crop of tennis stars, what longevity is going to really look like for them. Because
this last era set the bar way too high.
Decades. They've been in the game for decades.
Yeah,
I mean, at least a decade, but still.
I mean, it was crazy. Like, seeing somebody in their 30s play tennis was like, oh my God.
It's like,
now you got people in their 40s playing. You're like, okay.
And now the 30s is the best decade. Like,
30s.
Between Serena and Djokovic, damn, that's when they was winning everything.
Absolutely.
So, hey, do we give a damn about this new Kamala media blitz that she's on? Like, she everywhere right now.
I actually like seeing her everywhere, but I have to say, and I've been saying this now for about a month now since the debate, I need her to start saying some things about what she's going to do in policies. I need her to start saying the people that she's looking to win over in the middle, they don't care about we need to bring everyone back together again, and we need to, be as one country, and we need to, make sure that we're also lifting the little guy and making sure that the big guy isn't just stomping on everybody. How, bitch? How are we going to do all this? This is now the conversation that needs to be had. We agree. We see each other. But how are we going to get there? That is the stuff that I need to start seeing and hearing from her. And I hate the fact that they are afraid of saying that because they don't want to potentially run other people away because they don't agree. And because of the fact that there are so many single issue voters out there, that's truly the reason why she's not doing it. So I understand why she's not doing it, but that's what I need to feel comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see her out there. And I joined the View too when her and Whoopi had that moment too. When they were like,
that moment.
That was cute. That's
just some black people we see each other. I love you, boo. Hang in there.
Look at each other.
That's it. Just hang in there, girl. I got you.
I do give a damn. Also because I agree 100% with you, Jerrell. Like, it would be great to have more policy. It's great to see a politician who is in stark contrast and stands to the other, old boy, who stands on her shit, who can talk that talk, who does have more than a concept of a plan, but actually has plans that people can look up and really digest and whatnot. And she can mix in between the, let me show her a little bit more about who I am so you can get to know me, personal, but I can pivot really quickly to let's get into these politics and what we really need to be doing as a country.
Right.
So I do feel like, and it's expected, it's going to be happening because we need to be seeing her more and more and more. And quite frankly, it's great to see the other side spiraling.
Yeah.
And turning down interviews. Like, that 60-minute interview with her was probably the closest that we've gotten so far of them pressing, okay, how are you going to pay for it? What's the policies and things like that? But here's my counter to that, though. Old boy ain't had no policy for the last decade, so fuck that. I ain't saying no policy till old boy saying some shit. Because he ain't saying shit, and y'all ain't picking on him, because y'all ain't out here saying he ain't got no policy. But you can't even go to his damn website and look shit up.
But I guess the difference is, though, his people, the people that are voting for him don't care about that.
They don't care
I guess
about
I'm more so referring to the people on our side, which is more of a melting pot, like a melting pot. that policies will be helpful when on this side there is so much diversity. There needs to be so much said about how you're going to see see people for who they are, and it just sucks that on the Democratic side you can't just lump everybody as one. On the Republican side, you can because they're all trash. So it's very easy to take out the trash because they're all one.
It's easy to lump them into one.
Right. It's easy, So that's why I would like the policy. And I think that would also just also separate her a little bit more, right? Because if that's his MO, if that's the approach that he's taken, I want her to do even more, to do more different things than what he's doing versus that part.
Yeah. So, and obviously, like, it's cool to see it this late in the game. I think it's the perfect time because everyone's like, you ain't out here enough. Yeah. She's like, no, we got 20 days. Now I'm about to do this Blitz because this is now when some of those people that haven't been paying attention actually start paying attention.
Yes.
So it's kind of a brilliant play. I'm like, damn, whoever's running your campaign.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
And a lot of the folks that are new, this is their first time voting, they're seeing a very stark difference in terms of how these political figures are showing up, and that's going to make a huge...
Especially that Call Her Daddy. I was like, that's a fucking brilliant move.
Yeah.
Because that podcast is literally so massive, and the folks that listen to that podcast is one that fucked up the Hillary campaign, or the seed of the folks that fucked up the Hillary campaign. Bro, when I saw it, I was like, whoever's running your campaign. Because it's literally behind Joe Rogan, that's the next biggest podcast out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, kudos. All right, so lag of time here. Do we give a damn about Victoria Monet's deluxe album?
No.
Ooh, damn. Ooh, y'all don't? I do. It's good.
No.
Girl.
Here's my thing with this deluxe. Baby, the regular was already fine and great just as it was. This feels like an A-side, B-side thing that could have been its own separate thing. I would have preferred it to be something completely separate than from Jaguar 2. I didn't need this added on. It literally felt like it stopped, and all of a sudden they were like, and here's some more. And it's like, it ain't got nothing to do with this. I like the songs, the greatest. Like, I love it. Like, and even the remix of We Might Be Falling in Love with Blitz and Tyler, like, love it. But I don't like it with everything that came up before.
The other part.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I 1000% agree.
But let me tell you, I still bought that deluxe vinyl though.
I didn't, and I'm not.
I did.
I ain't buying all that. I ain't buying all that shit.
I did.
I'll buy digital, but I ain't buying no physical stuff. I got enough tchotchkes.
I get that. And then we'll end it here. Do y'all give a damn about Jaguar Wright being sued by Beyonce and Jay-Z for all the shit she was saying on what's his face? I'll call him Old Boy Jr. Pierce, whatever his name is. Morgan.
Pierce Morgan.
Question.
Let me tell you.
Was it she being sued, or did they...
The show I think is being sued.
Right.
And there's a threat of her also being sued.
That part.
So she's like, okay, let me go and sit down too.
Look, we don't need their legal team coming after us.
Baby. Right.
You know, we small potatoes, but still.
But hey.
Nah, I don't give a damn. Here's the reason why I don't give a damn. With everything, I'm scared.
Allegedly.
With everything that's happening with Diddy, I am just, I don't want anyone else to be taken down. I just know that other people are going to go down with Diddy. And anytime I see a black celebrity name get mixed up into anything, it's triggering at this point to me. Because there's some people I'm going to struggle to not listen to not. And I'm not ready for all that. So I'm glad that Beyonce was like, look here. What we're not going to do is have my name out in these streets with other people's names out in these streets. You got the wrong
and
one.
Get an apology. Like, the Pierce don't be apologizing for nothing. So that legal letter that came through wasn't being for real.
Well, when you got the coin, to afford the legal team to tie you up in so much legality that it could jeopardize the production of the entire show, you better issue that apology.
You better be like,
Not
I'm
a lot of people
sorry.
can do that because they don't have that many big stars that be going on that show that got that kind of coin.
Oh,
They got that kind of coin.
That kind of coin. You right on that. You right on that. But community, we know this feels a little abrupt. We got to get out of here.
we do.
But you know what? If you want a longer episode, we got next week coming up anyway. We got some other topics that we're going to just postpone to then. But anything else on your hearts and minds, Booze?
I love y'all.
I love y'all
too.
Stay fresh. Stay out these streets. And if you're in these streets, then hit us up with the DM to send us those pictures of what y'all doing.
Right. Let us see what happens. You know, if you're on these streets, you better be voting too. Then let us see what happens. How about that? But until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. And we will see you then. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jerrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorietyreport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass.